All right, so in our first demonstration, we're in the fume hood here because of the dangers of the fume. I'm going to mix the chemical methyl methacrylate to make our plexiglass. We need a hot water bath that we used before in class the other day. So we have methyl methacrylate. I've already pre-measured it at 5 milliliters. I'm going to put it in a test tube. With my methyl methacrylate, I'm going to add benzoyl peroxide. Benzoyl peroxide, I pre-measured them and put them into a little folder envelope. And I'm going to sprinkle that in. It's a solid white. Sprinkle all my pre-measured benzoyl peroxide. Cap that. I'm going to take my glass stir rod. I'm just going to let it dissolve. So I'm going to dissolve my methyl methacrylate with my benzoyl peroxide as much as I can. I'm waiting for my hot water bath to start boiling a little bit. Alright, so I'm using methyl methacrylate and I have benzoyl peroxide. Let's make sure it dissolves. I'm going to mix until the benzoyl peroxide dissolves. And then I'm going to put the test tube in my water bath, which is under the hood to prevent the fumes. There we go, that's good. So I'm going to put that in my water bath and let that sit. It's going to boil and we'll have to wait about 10 minutes to see the results. Alright, our next demonstration that I'm going to show you, I'm going to use another test tube to show it to you through a glass container. Again, we're in the fume hood and I'm using my protective eyewear. This is the process of making nylon. Right? So I've washed my test tube out with soap and water, made sure that it's dry. I'm going to put on gloves since I'm dealing with chemicals that my skin shouldn't touch. And I have my safety goggles on at all times, as I'm also working in the fume hood. Right? So I want to add 15 milliliters of 1,6-diaminohexene. Measure that out. And I've got my 1,6-diaminohexene. I measure 15. No heat is necessary for this portion of the demonstration to make nylon. Then I'm going to add about 15 milliliters of sebacoyl chloride. Here's my sebacoyl chloride. Meanwhile, I have my other demonstration in the background, waiting for it to boil. Let's get my first chemical, 1,6-diaminohexane. And I've got about 15 milliliters of my sebacoyl chloride. Put my fume hood on so you might hear some sound.
outside.